But I will say I do feel better from day one, and it's just been a good progression.
The drama surrounding the Cleveland Browns quarterback room has taken on a life of its own, and in a preseason already swirling with storylines. Nothing has captivated fans quite like the battle between two rookies who couldn't be more different. 1. Dillon Gabriel, a polished collegiate passer with a reputation for accuracy and poise, was expected to carve his way quietly into the NFL. The other, Shedeur Sanders, walked into the league already carrying the weight of a name, the attention of a brand, and the kind of magnetic swagger that makes headlines without even stepping on the field. Together, their paths collided on a stage Cleveland never imagined would be this messy. And what unfolded has turned into one of the most fascinating quarterback competitions of the preseason. For weeks, Gabriel was the steady hand in practice, the rookie with the playbook glued to his fingertips, carefully studying Kevin Stefanski's system. His coaches praised his composure, his reads, his ability to settle into rhythm in live reps. For a moment, it looked like Cleveland might have lucked into another mid-round quarterback gem. And when his preseason debut against the Philadelphia Eagles was announced, anticipation swelled. This was supposed to be his moment to shine, to prove to the fan base that he wasn't just a project but a legitimate competitor in a crowded quarterback room. The opening minutes showed promise. Gabriel looked sharp in short yardage situations, hitting quick outs and slants with timing that suggested comfort beyond his years. He completed 13 of 18 passes for 143 yards, even leading a crisp 2-minute drill that set up a late first half field goal. Analysts applauded his decision-making.
You know, it's a gift and a curse at the same time.
Hey, you got time for 2 more.
Going off of that,
noting how comfortable he appeared, orchestrating a system that often leaves young quarterbacks overwhelmed. For a brief window, Gabriel looked like he was ready to silence the noise, ready to insert himself into the conversation as a name Cleveland could trust. But football is a game defined by moments, and in moments, the rookie blinked. Early in the second quarter, with the Browns trying to push momentum forward, Gabriel forced a ball into tight coverage along the sideline. Philadelphia's Andrew Makuba read it perfectly, jumping the route and sprinting untouched into the end zone. A pick six. Gabriel's first NFL touchdown pass went the wrong way, and in an instant, everything he had built unraveled. Moments later, disaster struck again. A botched handoff to Pierre Strong Jr. turned into a live fumble, recovered by the Eagles. 2 turnovers in one half, both avoidable, both devastating. Suddenly, Gabriel's otherwise decent stat line no longer mattered. His performance wasn't judged by his completions. It was defined by his mistakes, and that's when Shedeur Sanders, sidelined by an oblique injury, decided to make his presence felt. He didn't need to step under center, didn't need to lace up his cleats. All it took was 5 words on social media, posted moments after Gabriel walked off the field. Don't lose that energy, soon. It was sharp, cutting, and it landed with the precision of one of his laser passes. In one stroke, Sanders managed to clown his supposed competition, reassure his fans, and remind Cleveland that the real story of their quarterback future wasn't Gabriel's turnovers, it was Sanders' aura. Social media erupted. Memes flooded. Analysts debated whether Sanders had just ended the quarterback competition with a single sentence. The irony is that Sanders' NFL debut wasn't supposed to happen this way. When the Browns drafted him, the plan was patience. He would ease in slowly, get comfortable in the system, and develop behind the veterans. But plans rarely survive contact with reality, and Sanders didn't walk quietly into the NFL. He exploded. His first preseason appearance against Carolina was more than impressive, it was commanding. Completing 14 of 23 passes for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns. Adding nearly 20 rushing yards, Sanders looked like he belonged. There were no jitters, no wasted plays, no deer in the headlights hesitation. Every decision was sharp, every throw was deliberate, and every drive felt under control. Fans who tuned in, expecting a raw rookie, got something different. A quarterback who already played like he owned the stage. The performance drew a staggering 2.2 million viewers on NFL Network, nearly breaking a preseason broadcast record. Overnight, Sanders wasn't just a rookie quarterback, he was a phenomenon. Nike seized a moment, launching a slick 5-word campaign that plastered his face across social feeds and sports channels, turning his debut into not just a football moment, but a cultural one. This wasn't about completions and yards anymore. This was about presence. Sanders became Cleveland's new obsession. The rookie fans weren't just excited about, but the one they believed in. That's the problem Dillon Gabriel ran into. Wasn't just that he made mistakes, it was that those mistakes came at the worst possible time. The timing was brutal. Sanders had already raised the bar sky high, and Gabriel needed a clean, confident debut to keep the competition close. Instead, his turnovers echoed louder because the comparison was impossible to avoid. Sanders looked like a polished star. Gabriel looked like a rookie learning on the fly. Inside the Browns facility, the situation has become increasingly complex. Officially, Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett still sit atop the depth chart, with Gabriel penciled in ahead of Sanders for now. Stefanski insists it's about experience, system familiarity, and patience. But to fans, it feels like politics, like the team is deliberately delaying the inevitable. Sanders has become the face people want to see, the jersey they want to buy, the quarterback they want to believe in. Gabriel, meanwhile, is trying to win support the hard way, through steady growth, clean play, and gradual trust. Unfortunately for him, patience doesn't trend on social media, and hype doesn't wait for development. The truth is, this isn't just about play on the field. It's about storylines, leadership, and presence. Sanders carries with him the legacy of Jackson State, the high-profile transfer to Colorado, a Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year award, and the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Trophy. By the time he put on a Browns jersey, he wasn't an unknown prospect. He was already a name, already a brand, already someone the NFL world was paying attention to. Gabriel, by contrast, came in without the same spotlight. His ceiling might be high, but it's hidden behind the shadow Sanders casts every time his name is mentioned. That's why one bad game feels catastrophic for Gabriel, and why Sanders doesn't even need to play to control the narrative. Gabriel is forced to prove himself with every snap. Sanders proves himself with every word. Gabriel's mistakes live forever as memes. Sanders' clapbacks live forever as moments of swagger. And when perception is as important as performance, there's no doubt who's winning the battle right now. The Browns wanted a competition, but what they have is a dilemma. If they ride with the veterans, they risk alienating a fan base desperate for something exciting. If they double down on Gabriel, they risk looking stubborn while the most electrifying rookie sits on the sideline. And if they hand the reins to Sanders too early, they risk rushing his development. There's no easy answer, but there is a reality. The more Sanders speaks, the more Sanders trends, and the more Sanders delivers, the harder it will be to hold him back. Because at the end of the day, what Shedeur Sanders has that Dillon Gabriel doesn't is gravity. He pulls attention, headlines, and belief toward him. He makes fans feel like they're watching the beginning of something special. Gabriel might yet carve out a career. He has the tools, the composure, and the intelligence. But in Cleveland right now, this isn't just about tools. It's about timing, swagger, and the ability to own the moment. And Sanders owns it in a way few rookies ever have. So the question isn't really whether Sanders will take over. It's when. How long can Cleveland afford to wait? How long can they ignore the rookie who's already acting like the face of the franchise? And how long can Dillon Gabriel withstand the pressure of being compared to a teammate who doesn't just compete on the field but dominates the spotlight off of it? The Browns thought they had a quarterback competition. What they really have is a storyline that feels bigger than football. A battle not just for a starting spot but for the heart of a city. This is the kind of drama that doesn't just play out on Sundays, it unfolds every day. In press conferences, social feeds, and locker room whispers. Sanders clowned Gabriel after a 2-turnover game, but in truth, he did more than that. He exposed the divide between presence and performance, between being a quarterback and being the quarterback, and right now, Cleveland fans already know who their choice is. The only question left is when the Browns will make it official. This is the Huddle HQ. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Should the Browns hand the keys to Shedeur Sanders now? Or do Dillon Gabriel and the veterans still deserve more time? Your thoughts drive the conversation, and this quarterback battle is just getting started.